everybody, this is Sophie from Hotspawn, and we're here for Blast Bounty Winter with EliGe. How are you doing today?
Doing good. How about you?
Yeah, not too bad. I've been asking everybody because I heard yesterday the weather in Malta is real bad right now.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best. We came in and it's just full. I don't know how strong the winds were, but really strong winds. I felt like I was gonna die on the plane. Like when we were coming in, it was like the plane was doing like this.
Oh my
I was like,
God.
well, I hope that we straighten out a little bit before this actually touches the floor. Um, yeah, raining hard, but yeah, at least we're alive, so we're doing good.
Well, it's off to a good start. Where did you fly in
Yep.
from?
Warsaw.
Ah, okay, cool. Not too long a flight then, I guess. It's okay.
Yeah, not too bad.
Good, good. Okay, cool. So the very first thing I wanted to ask you was about how Liquid didn't make any roster changes this year, which I think it maybe surprised a couple of people. So what led to the decision to keep you guys all together with the exact same roster?
Yeah, the decision is pretty much because we felt like we were on like the right track at the end of last year, even though the major result wasn't the best. The team needs like some type of stability first of all, because from at least from my perspective, I'm all obviously new to Liquid. I joined in September, but I think Liquid's been like a revolving door of roster change. Something's not working, new thing, and you can't really like create any structure. There's no stability for anybody really. So I think it's really hard when you have like a revolving door like that. And then yeah, the second part is what I was saying before of we felt like we were on like the right track of how we're approaching the game, how we're adding things and improving things, team environment, everything like that. And we have like very talented players. It's just about making sure that we're getting things like on the same page, like with that structure, and we feel like we're making steps forward. So I think that as long as like we're continuing to like make steps forward, and that's like how we felt like at the end of last season, even we didn't make it out of the legend stage like we would have wanted to at the major, which obviously is a bad result. Like we went 0-3 in like the legend stage, like we're not denying that. But I think just having some stability for the team and feeling like we're working on things and we have like strong players that can, do better than what we were doing before. And that's pretty much the reason.
Yeah, I think yeah, I kind of like that because I guess in esports we see a lot of teams have got this revolving door, and I think it kind of makes it hard for fans as well. Like if you're a fan of a player as opposed to a team, it kind of makes it a bit more difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, okay, cool. So obviously we're just coming straight into the 2026 season. How are you feeling about like your own individual form? Because you came out of this first stage of Blast Bounty with some really strong maps. It was really good to see.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I think that like, since like the year started, individually, I was feeling really good. I feel like my mechanics are feeling good. I feel like like I'm also feeling like I'm more in like a stable environment where I could, do what I feel, makes me perform the best. And I think that like we're having like good relationships on the team, which make things easier to talk about. And yeah, I think just overall everything's like feeling like, uh, I can get on track to like the form that I had like in 2024, 2023 before. So I'm feeling pretty good about that overall. So good start to the season.
Yeah, definitely. How do you guys maintain that level of communication? Is it a case of just sitting down and being like, right, here's what worked, here's what didn't, or is there a little bit more to it than that?
It's pretty much a constant flow of communication. I mean, things are not always, just like a straight line up of like things are going great, things are going good, where we understand each other. It's always, peaks, troughs, things, people that we don't get it. There's arguments. There's days where things are going great, and we're like, yep, that makes sense. We're going to add this, add that, and then we, go into the scrim, and then it feels really good. So I think that there's always, uh, good days, bad days, but the bad days are also the days where you learn a lot because whenever there's disagreements, that's something that you can like learn from. You're going to go some direction, and that direction is either going to work, not work. You try another direction. So as long as like we are like open to each other about like what we want to do and like what we can try, but there's always also like a baseline of we kind of have to keep in the same um, I guess like the foundation that we set, like we don't want to like veer from that too far as well. Like you want to like stay like in the same like confines that like we want to be like identified like as like our team like structure, I guess. So that's what I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. And would you say there's things that you're deliberately trying to work on coming into this new season specifically, or is it more like you're trying to see what's working and what isn't as you go on?
For me individually, or for me, or for like the team.
Let's do both.
For me individually, it's just keeping on top of different micros and adding things and feeling good about like my because honestly I feel like my mechanics have always been really good. It would be more of like the how comfortable I'm feeling like in certain situations and like how I want to like micro in those situations and like my different options that I have. So I think that's like how I feel like the strongest, doing like my training routines. But that's like a given. Like that's like the base. That's like the bare minimum of like keeping up with that stuff. It's always about like the nuance of like how you approach like different fights and when you're in different situations, which fights you choose to take and stuff like that. So that's like me individually, and then like as a team, we've mainly been like focusing on like the team structure of like how we're defaulting and approaching different rounds and doing that like throughout all the maps of like how we want that to look, who how we're gonna like not feel as rigid, because I think one of the things that we felt at the end of last year is like we were a little bit more rigid with like how we were doing things, and we need to be able to like feel out more of like the situations, give like less sound cues of where we're uh, like less obvious things for like the opponent, so like they don't know as much what we're doing. So we're pretty much like structuring more of our rounds so like we have like those options more often.
Yeah, for sure. Because I guess, as I say, like it's really starting to pay off early on in this season. You guys did have a couple of little scares, like dropping a map to Nip and to Gentlemates, I think it was. So,
Yeah.
can you tell me a little bit about the lessons that you can take from those series specifically, and how you're planning to bring that into the playoffs?
um well, I'd say for the Gentlemates one, I think that we played really good honestly on the second and third map, but on Inferno we have had like some role changes, and there's going to be like some uh learnings. Like for me, I'm in like the more active, banana spots of the map. I've never really played like there in like my career except like 2018 and before. So it's been some time, and it's a really like difficult spot. So there's gonna be like more uh, nuanced ways of like how I should be like approaching like that position and like finding solutions like in better ways, because like I wasn't having good game on T side of that map. I didn't know like solutions. It was like a frustrating game. So I think that was like takeaway for that, and being like more resilient as well. Those were like the key takeaways from like Gentlemates for me. And then the Nip game. Do you know which map we actually lost to them off the top of your head? I'm trying to remember myself.
Oh, hang on. Bear with me one moment. Oh
Yeah,
my
let's
gosh,
see.
this
Let's
is a
see.
test. I can't remember off the top of my head. Bear with me. I've got Liquipedia up in the background.
Yeah.
Where are we? So this was okay. There's Gentlemates. Okay, so Nip took Mirage. It was map 2.
Mm,
13-8.
I see. I see. I actually don't know if there was like some big takeaway. Like, there's always like little micro decisions. Actually, that was the map. That we didn't like necessarily get to like a lot of things from that, so it kind of like accelerated like when we needed to like talk about that map like right before, because obviously we are planning on picking it, um but we were like focusing more on some of the other maps in our pool. And I think it was just about like talking about like the micro details about like the defaults, like I was saying before, of like how we can like activate and like feel a little bit better, because I think that was when our T side was a little bit like we had a weak T side in that game. But honestly, I don't think we had like a big takeaway from
Yeah, yeah. I
the
mean, I guess
series.
you can't for every single game, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, like we go over the game and like there's like things that happen in the rounds that like we discuss, but like in terms of like some overall like big takeaway that like we're gonna put at the end of the storybook, like I don't think that I have one for that game.
Yep,
So,
yep. Yes, it was a 13-8 map, guys. We've got some big lessons with this one. Yeah, I
yeah,
see.
I mean, it could be right, but like I at least I personally don't remember it.
Yeah, yeah, no, that is totally fine. Okay, so I think it's later today. I'm not sure if you did already, but you guys are going to be picking your opponent for the next stage of Blast Bounty, right? And we
Yeah.
got some I mean, it's the biggest teams. We got Vitality, we got Furia out there. So, is there a team that you're specifically keeping your eye on that you would enjoy going up against at this stage?
Yeah, we definitely talked about it already of like who we would prefer to pick, and I mean it's the pretty obvious one I think, just because they're having some unfortunate circumstances in their team right
Oh,
now with
okay. Yep.
who can be here and who cannot be here.
It's the
But
esports way.
yeah, so but yeah, we're feeling good. I think we're feeling good overall.
Okay, good. That's very good to hear. Okay, I just had one last question for you, just looking ahead a little bit, maybe 6 months into this year. Where do you see Liquid going in this first half of the season, especially heading up to the first major in Cologne?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that our goal is to have more consistency as like a playoff team. Of course, I would like to say the obvious, like win tournaments, but I don't think it obviously doesn't happen overnight. Like if it was that easy, everyone would just make a roster and they would all just be insane. All they would just be like, yeah, let's just win tournaments, and they just do it. They just win the tournaments. But for me, like we need to have like some uh, we have to have like some obvious like steps forward where like our baseline is much higher. Like that's what the fans want. That's what we want. We want to be going to the quarters and semifinals and be in the discussion for like winning the tournament. I don't think that Liquid has been like in the discussion for like winning the tournament in a while. Even leading up to the major, my goal for the major was to get to the playoffs, semifinals, and that's still like my goal. My goal. Me individually, we didn't talk about this as a team or anything. Is like I would want this team to be you know, in the quarters, in the semifinals, consistently be like that team that's like in the discussion, because that means we're already at like a pretty good baseline, like to that next step afterwards. Like if you're so far away that you're not even making it to those stages, then you have other problems than like if you're gonna win this trophy or not. You're having problem like you're having way worse problems than that.
Yeah,
So
sure.
that's what we want. Like we need to be getting to that level. I mean, obviously this tournament we're technically playoffs, but uh, we need to be doing that at like the tournaments that have like the harder formats that we would have already like played like some harder teams by now. So that's the goals.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, as I say, you're off to a good start and long may it continue.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it and good luck.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a good one.